That's looking at it from that larger perspective in terms of what's moving.
One angle on it too that I'll share is I heard recently somebody depicted that in the chronology of history, whether it be recorded or otherwise, before recorded history, there's been energies, that have kind of guided us, right? And they've guided us for various reasons, whether it be survival reasons or universal force reasons or whatever, right? But the concept is kind of playing off what you said, Richard, around how back in Neanderthal days and prehistoric, people had, it's survival of the fittest. So you had to do what needed to be done. Hunter, gatherer, nurture. And of course, those bring kind of a connotation of different styles of energy, whether it be masculine, feminine, or whatever. And over the eons of history, the when we talk about government and ruling and the way that people engage and relate to one another societally, there's been that patriarchal energy, right? Versus the matriarchal energy, where you've got that masculine rule and the men, the whatever you call it, men. I always stop short of categorizing men and women, but it's that masculine essence that is all about overcoming and that results in competition and ultimately war, right? And look at where we are today in the context of our societies. Like here we exist in America as a European based society that came from Europe, that kind of overcame the indigenous people here in the Americas and took that essence and did whatever. I don't want to go controversial about that, but there is controversy, but we got to be aware of it, that Anglo-Saxon essence, which is patriarchal, which creates hierarchy and construct and chain of command and all that stuff, resonates with an energy, as opposed to the other side, which is more of a nurturing, collective, collaborative, communal energy, right? So those two distinctions. And through the timeline of life, only a small fraction of the times that have been recorded have actually been patriarchal rule. A small fraction, which means the other times have been more of a matriarchal, collaborative, everything I said before. So it's like the pendulum swings from one way to another. And I think that right now we're on one extreme side of it with, from my perspective, everything that's kind of been manifested through the problem of oppressive energy that's all about winning over others. And you can think of lots of examples of that, whether it be more recent or otherwise. You can go back decades, centuries, and that pendulum is now swinging toward more of a, call it a feminine essence, more of an essence of everything that you just kind of alluded to, Richard. And again, don't take it from me, take it from the sages that are talking about it and that are discussing it. And now the key is that how do we navigate those waters? I believe that essence is going to overcome us if we don't allow it, and are receptive to it, that whether it be that feminine essence. And I just think that its
When you
time has
say
come again.
you say you believe that that essence is going to overcome us. When you
Yeah.
say that essence, you mean
I think it's I call it a universal force of attitude and beingness. And again, it's the essence of the difference between a collective, communal, engaging, respectful, nurturing, all those words. I could probably think of a whole bunch of other words as well, versus oppression, uh, competition, even organized religion that creates a hierarchy of us versus them, you versus me, wrongness. People are wrong, and so therefore they don't think like me, they're wrong, and hence that creates an implication of war and conflict. So those are two, from my perspective, distinct polar forces. And I think that the secret is to create an essence of collaboration and how we can make it work together, just like the cavemen used to do, where the hunter-gatherers would go out, linear thinking, typically men with masculine energy, and they would kill and everything, and then they would bring it back into the cave where the women were, that are more holistic thinkers, that have got a more developed corpus callosum, that are designed to think uh, not just linear, but holistically. And again, now we could talk about the way that the male brain, the female brain thinks. There's been lots of studies and books written about it. But I think that it's a collaborative essence, so we got to do it together. But I think that there's been such an extreme under that patriarchal context, that one side, that now the pendulum's swinging toward the other side. And I don't know if you can even describe it in words. I think it's more of an essence, you know? So we'll see how it plays out, I guess.